Welcome to Spectrum News at 10, coming to you live from Oyo, the Akwa Ibom State capital. My name is Ofonono Joseph. Let's take a look at the top stories. President Tinubu says economic reforms meant to equip Nigerian youths with globally competitive skills. Rep Speaker Abbas condemns Kebbi school attack, abduction of students. Plus, UN Security Council votes in favor of Trump's peace plan for Gaza. Stay tuned for details of these stories and more in just a moment. Good morning and many thanks for joining us on the news at this hour. First in the news this morning is that President Bola Tinubu has said that his administration's economic and institutional reforms are designed to equip Nigerian youths with globally competitive skills to secure their future. Tinubu, who said this when he received the Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Edward, at the State House, Abuja, stressed that his goal is to use education to drive down poverty. A statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, says plans for the Duke of Edinburgh International Award event in Lagos were also discussed. On his part, the chairman of the Duke of Edinburgh's International Award Foundation, Prince Edward, commended the administration's reforms, saying they have drawn positive global reviews. The Duke announced that 320 Nigerian youths will be recognized at the award events to be held in partnership with the Lagos State government. In the meantime, President Tinubu has ordered security and intelligence agencies to immediately rescue the 25 female students abducted during an attack on Government Girls Comprehensive Senior Secondary School, GGCSS, Maga, in Kebbi State. Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, announced the President's directive for a high-level rescue operation. The minister assured that the federal government would not relent until the girls are safely reunited with their families. He also said the country is strengthening cooperation with the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, the African Union, AU, and the Multinational Joint Task Force, MNJTF, to secure its borders and dismantle terrorist networks. In a related development, Speaker of the House of Representatives Abbas Tajuddin has condemned the attack on Government Girls Comprehensive Senior Secondary School Maga in Kebbi State, where bandits allegedly abducted about 25 students. In a statement, Tajuddin described the attack, which also claimed the lives of some school officials, as unfortunate, gruesome, and despicable. The Speaker urged security agencies to mount a swift and coordinated operation to rescue the abducted girls, noting that schools must remain safe spaces for children. He warned that repeated attacks on educational institutions pose grave implications for the country and must be urgently addressed. Tajuddin expressed confidence in the ability of the military and other security agencies to rescue the students and bring the attackers to justice. He reaffirmed the Houses of Representatives' commitment to supporting efforts aimed at protecting lives and property, especially in schools. The Speaker commiserated with the families of the victims and prayed for the safe return of the abducted students. Reports say bandits had invaded the school in Danko Wasagu local government area last Sunday night, shooting intermittently before whisking away the students. In the meantime, House of Representatives Speaker Tajuddin Abbas has said the National Assembly is poised to address the challenges women face in their efforts to join the Nigeria police force. The Speaker and the Ministry of Police Affairs said it has become imperative to amend the Police Act so that more women could be recruited into the force. They noted that having more women in the force would fast-track the dispensation of justice. Speaking at a public hearing on a bill to amend the Police Act 2020 and provide for 15% recruitment of women into the police force, the Speaker said the proposed law mandates the Nigeria Police Force to establish and maintain a gender-responsive compliance program that addresses key aspects of policing, such as recruitment, training, posting, discipline, and career progression. Additionally, he said the bill provides for the creation of a monitoring unit to keep accurate record of the integration process and ensure adherence to these provisions. Still talking security, the Chief of Army Staff, COAS, Lieutenant General Wide Shuaibu, has visited Kebbi State, directing troops of Operation Fansanyama to intensify the search and rescue operation for students abducted from Government Girls Comprehensive Senior Secondary School, GGCSS Maga, in Danko, Wasagu local government area. Shuaibu arrived with a delegation of principal staff officers from Army headquarters and held an operational meeting with frontline commanders before addressing the deployed troops. In a firm message, the Army chief ordered soldiers to operate day and night until all abducted students were safely recovered. Shuaibu also met with local vigilantes and hunters supporting the operation, emphasizing their role in providing intelligence and navigating the forested terrain. Meanwhile, Kebbi State Governor Nasser Idris has assured parents of the abducted students of Government Girls Comprehensive Secondary School Maga that his administration is fully committed to rescuing their children. The governor gave the assurance yesterday while speaking to journalists in Maga shortly after meeting security agencies, traditional rulers, parents and other stakeholders following the incident. This is contained in a statement signed by Yahya Sarki, Special Advisor on Media and Publicity to the governor. Governor Idris described the abduction as deeply unfortunate and condemned the killing of the school's vice principal during the attack. Away from that, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Tugar, yesterday launched the Regional Partnership for Democracy, RPD, an initiative that aims to deepen the democratic process in Africa. He blames the recent unconstitutional change of governments in some African states on structural weaknesses. The minister noted that democracy was gradually sliding and that the situation was affecting the 2063 target of silencing the gun in Africa. Tuga, who spoke at the signing ceremony of the RPD, organized by his ministry and the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, in Abuja, described the RPD, which is the brainchild of President Bola Tinubu, as the solution to addressing the democratic challenges. In another development, all the 16 People's Democratic Party (PDP) members in the Taraba State House of Assembly have resigned from the party and joined the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC). Speaker John Kizito Bonzina announced the mass defections yesterday during plenary. Bonzina read the letter submitted by the lawmakers, each indicating their intentions to leave the PDP and cross over to the APC, and citing lingering leadership crisis within the PDP at the national level. According to the Speaker, the defections fall under Section 109 of the Constitution, which allows lawmakers to switch parties in the event of divisions within their party. We move now to Africa, where Ethiopia has confirmed the deaths of 3 people who had contracted the Marburg virus. The country's health ministry said 3 additional fatalities were being investigated for a possible connection to the disease. The announcement comes after Ethiopian authorities declared the Marburg outbreak on Friday. The outbreak was reported in the Omo region, an area neighboring South Sudan. Ethiopian Health Minister Megdes Daba said the government had conducted tests in 17 suspected cases in the country's south. In addition, 129 people who were in contact with the confirmed cases have been isolated and are being monitored. On the foreign scene, the UN Security Council has voted in favor of Donald Trump's peace plan for Gaza, which includes deployment of international troops. The move authorizes the second phase of the U.S. president's 20-point plan, including setting up an International Stabilization Force, ISF, to demilitarize the territory and set up a transitional governance. The resolution was backed by 13 countries on the Council, including the UK, France and Somalia, with none voting against the proposal. Russia and China abstained from the vote. The draft also raises the possibility of a Palestinian state, which Israel strongly opposes. Still on the foreign scene, a U.S. federal judge, William Fitzpatrick, says investigative missteps in government misconduct may have tainted the Trump administration's criminal case against former FBI Director James Comey. Judge Fitzpatrick ordered Justice Department lawyers to release grand jury materials, including transcripts and evidence, to Comey's defense team. The Justice Department has appealed against the order. Recall that Comey was charged with making false statements and obstruction of justice in September after Donald Trump called for his prosecution and appointed new federal prosecutor to pursue the case. The former FBI chief, who has long drawn the U.S. president's IRE, has pleaded not guilty to the charges. Still to come in the news. NFF apologizes for Super Eagles World Cup setback. Stay tuned for details of these and more after this time out. Welcome back and thank you so much for sticking with us. Now we conclude on the rest of our news stories. On our business news, the organized private sector has welcomed the decline in the rate of inflation in Nigeria, but quickly pointed out that the hardship across the country has failed to abate. According to the latest Consumer Price Index (CPI) released by the National Bureau of Statistics, Nigeria's inflation eased for the second consecutive month in October as new base year adjustments and moderating food prices helped pull headline pressure lower. The report stated that the headline inflation rate fell to 16.05% in October from 18.02% in September, marking a 1.96 percentage point moderation. The CPI reading rose slightly to 128.9 points from 127.7 in September, indicating that prices are still increasing but at a slower annual pace. We move now to health, where the has announced the commencement of a fresh mass recruitment of National Health Fellows (PHCs) across the country. The expansion follows what the Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Ali Pate, described as transparency, strengthening accountability, and supporting the revitalization of Nigeria's primary health on November 1. Now to sport, where the Nigeria Football Federation, NFF, has apologized to President Bola Tinubu. In a statement posted on its official X handle, the NFF described the defeat as a moment of profound sadness for Nigerian football. It's noted that missing out on the World Cup for a second consecutive time was a bitter setback, carrying great weight and emotion. Amid worrying injury news involving Gabriel Magalhaes, Arsenal's Ricardo Calafiori is expected to be fit by this weekend. Concern from supporters over whether Ricardo Calafiori will be fit for the match. Arsenal run checks and confirmed that there's no serious injury on Ricardo. In our entertainment news, Nollywood star Genevieve Nnaji has reacted to a controversial tweet advising Igbo men against marrying women from their own ethnic group. The Nollywood star had urged Igbo men to go to East Africa and pick a wife. And that's all we have for you at this time. Do well to follow us on all our social media handles and searching Spectrum News at 10. My name is Ofonono Joseph. Good morning and enjoy the rest of your day.